This is Tom Meyer, Superintendent, Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update. We had a board meeting last night. I want to give you a rundown of some things that were discussed there, but also to start off, I want to give you a rundown of some upcoming events, especially in the fine arts area. And as we approach the end of the year graduation, next week is our concert week in many ways. On Monday, May 15th, we have the Bellevue Middle School High School Vocal Concert. On Tuesday, May 16th, we have the Bellevue Middle School High School Band Concert. On Wednesday, May 17th, we have the Bellevue Elementary Music Concert, which includes fifth grade band along with all the different grades performing. We also have a high school awards evening on May 24th. That's the following week. On May 26th, we have our first annual Beyond the Blue recipient social hour and program. That is going to be honoring 4 of our past graduates who have went and done outstanding things after they have left the Bellevue Community School District in their life, contributing to the world in general that way, in a national, local, community-wise basis, and making the world better for those around them. We have 4 recipients. I'll give you more information on that next week, actually, to keep you guessing there, but they'll be touring the building that day on the 26th, along with speaking with our students that afternoon, and then we'll have a social hour at the art gallery downtown, the Bellevue Art Gallery, and along with connected to River Ridge Brewery. So they'll be there for both things. We'll have appetizers that night, whole social hour, then we'll have a program honoring those people. Some upcoming things. Also, then we have graduation the following night on Saturday, May 27th, 8 o'clock, still Saturday night graduation. And a few things going on this summer. We have a Spanish trip to Costa Rica this summer, and that's going to be from June 13th to June 22nd with Miss Dullard and her class, or several of her students, about 20 students going on that. And we also have, once again, the FBLA convention in Anaheim that 19 of our students qualified for, and roughly about 17 of them are going out to that way. So a lot of things happening that way. Just want to make everybody aware we have a district track meet coming up on Thursday, and that is at North Fayette High School up in Oline. So encourage you to go up to that, encourage our students on, cheer them on that way. Should be a great day up there. A lot of great performances, not only from the Bellevue schools, but from other schools around us as well. Some things from the board meeting last night. Amber Dullard has resigned her Spanish position. She is going on, actually going back to school for academic advising. We did hire summer help, 2 veterans who are coming back in, former graduates who were in college, Alec Rubel and Kelsey Ernst. And then our 3rd person this year is Peter Kilberg. So we will have them as summer help. We had a comment. Actually, I recognize the board members for their service during this school board recognition month that way. Kevin Lundeen, Paul Fahey, Mike Reed, Martha Montgomery Henning, and Janet Sieverding. They contribute a lot to our school through the decisions that they make and the insight that they provide to myself and others in the district, and answering questions from community members and representing community members and letting them know what's going on in school. So thanks to the 5 of them, along with Board Secretary Penny Meetinger, who also does a wonderful job here in many ways that way. So just want to let everyone know that. We had a comic curriculum presentation last night, and that was on Bellevue Big. We had 3 students there, Mason Lyons, Peter Kilberg, and Eli Witt. They were there with Mr. Ernst, one of our instructional coaches that way. Mr. Yeager, our lead teacher for Bellevue Big, was actually working our track meet last night. But Mason discussed the Big Honey Project with beehives, honey, and more, and kind of the process that they're going through with that right now and creating that. Also talked about the Faces of Bellevue project, honoring people who live in Bellevue and around Bellevue. They're in the Bellevue district that way. And their thoughts on life in Bellevue, and just an overall interview with them as a whole. Peter discussed the athletic cards that the group is putting together with local businesses for discounts that way. We've went with an outside organization in the past. This year going with an inside organization. I believe it'll be very successful. And our students are designing, marketing, everything with that way. And then Eli discussed the Big Buddies project along with later on in the meeting, Kylie Biederman came in after her track meet and presented to the board. She's actually one of our student representatives on our school board that way. She came in after the track meet, talked a little bit about it. But the Big Buddies mentoring program, you may have heard already, is a mentoring program designed for 4th and 5th graders who are the mentees. Our mentors are sophomores and juniors, and they will follow them through into their 6th and 7th grade years that way, and hopefully just do that whole cycle again as time goes on, and Kylie really started this, and she'll be graduating, but Eli is taking it over for next year. Last Friday, as you may have saw on social media, they had a large gathering at the bowling alley during the school day in the morning, and it went very well. So just a lot of great things happening there, and really developing those relationships that are so important for success in school for students, and that sense of belonging in school, that sense of peer friendships. The whole sense of belonging, once again, is the key to the academic success, or one of those keys. And belonging also means that you have relationships. So they also presented on the various projects they have. They're listed online, from Bellevue Big to things they're working on, the Tech Math and what they're doing out there. It's just a few things that way. We have the Urban Orchard, the Bellevue Big Buddies, as I mentioned, Therapy Dog coming into the school now, a mural for the Jackson County Care Facility, the DNR Fisheries, Department of Natural Resource Fisheries here at the Mississippi River. We had students working down there in the past. We're doing some things with Special Olympics, college prep, and just overall a lot of things that way. In fact, we had two districts in the state of Iowa visit us last week. The Danville schools and the New London schools down in southeast Iowa came up to visit us, and they visited Mr. Yeager and Mr. Ernst, along with our students at the Bellevue Big program that way. So a lot of great things happening there. The board also approved the 48 graduates from our district for this year that way. They approved principal contracts, once again renewed them for Mrs. Jeanette Hartung Schrader at the elementary and Mr. Jeff Raker at the middle school high school at a 2.19% increase, which is the same as total package, which is the same as all of our staff members that way. We approved fees for the upcoming school year, 2017-2018, slight increases across the board that way based on increases in price and software prices on down the line. Once again, these are all listed on our website too, on the superintendent page, and you'll hear more about these in June and July when we get information in the newspaper and in the newsletter that you'll see. The board also looked at having Jim Ott continue next year, a day and a half to 2 days a week, working with our students that way. Even though he will be stepping away from the AA, we will have some other support there. We believe Jim Ott has a lot to offer our students, and we'll look to do that in the future. We also created a flex spending account for our flex spending for medical and child care, along with our health insurance that way that teachers pay tax on. Basically, this is a tax, this is tax-free money that way. People can use that way, just general flex spending account. It is no additional cost to the district and actually helps the district out as well, something that maybe we should have been doing for years in many ways. Approved a sharing agreement with Marquette Catholic for soccer. Our graduation rate and dropout rate were well above the state average, in a positive way above the state average. Our graduation rate was 98.04%. The state average is 91.3%. Our dropout rate was 0.32%. The state average is 2.8%. Actually, the state average went up from last year. We want 100% like we've had in some other previous years that way. That's always our goal, to get every student through services we offer our students. The board also considered a meal charge policy that way on what's going on and approving that in the future. We will have that at the June board meeting. Had information items, a legislative update that way. Home rule, and just so you know what home rule is, home rule was approved for the state of Iowa, for schools in the state of Iowa in some manner at least, in regard to, in the past we've been through Dillon's rule, which means you can only do what you were specifically stated that you can do. Home rule basically says, and this is what cities work on usually, it's home rule. Home rule states that you can do whatever you want as long as it said that you can't do it. So that will open up some options. What that means exactly, we're not exactly sure. Department of Education is working on some clarification in those areas, along with the flexibility in spending from some of our other accounts that way. But there was a lack of action based on revenues coming in on transportation equity and some just general student spending that way for schools. Graduation, as I mentioned before, is May 27th at 8 o'clock. Facilities update, we gave a survey to our staff to fill out on what their impressions were of both the elementary facilities and the middle school, high school facilities. I had a lot of comments there. They are attached in the notes on the comment highlights on the superintendent's webpage in the Bellevue Community School District. You can see those as well. A lot of great comments there. We are having our kickoff meeting with our master planning committee on Tuesday, October 16th. So that will be an exciting night that way to figure things out there where we're at. They're doing another facilities overview that way in the future. And we'll continue with that after the summer. Again, we'll pick up with that in September or October with more community meetings and gaining more and more community input, which is vital for us to determine what are the best options for our district as a whole. Cole Park update, since we're playing baseball up there and making that a great place for our entire community for a variety of different things. A new scoreboard is up, and that was actually purchased by the Bellevue State Bank. The cement for seating for box seats has been laid. The seats are coming in this week, will be installed either later this week or next week. There's a building going up in that area too, a small building around or kind of in the middle of the seats that way. That will be going up starting Thursday, Mr. Kinake has informed me, and Mr. Boniface. So they've done a lot with the Bellevue Braves and in gaining a lot of money that way. A sunscreen will also go up. The Bellevue Schools is contributing to that, along with some work in the softball diamond that was done that way with put Shakopee lime, which is a much less abrasive, less dusty, dirty, absorbs water much better. Will be a much better place for our people to play on. And there's also some improvements being done with the speaker system at the diamonds as well. And I'm about out of time here, but I just want to say our next meeting is Monday, June 12th. That way, go on the website. We are having a superintendent evaluation. My annual evaluation is coming up on June 12th as well at the end of the meeting, and we always do that in closed session. But if you have comments, please contact any board members. You're welcome to do that. You can contact the school and talk to Rhonda Roth here at the office for their information, or you can also go online for their information as well. So to contact them. I want to run one real quick thing by you. That way I think it's important just to add here. How to Be Like Coach Wooden, just a book I pulled off the shelf here that I think when you talk about good people and what we're trying to create here in schools are good people, you have to demonstrate some things in your life. You always have to find the best in people, make sure others get something positive from their association with you, be kind to people, avoid hurting them, be tolerant, accept people as they are, face your problems honestly, look upon your failures as lessons to be learned. Remember that everyone is occasionally worried or discouraged, including you. Promise readily to do things for others. And ultimately, never forget that people are more important than things. Sometimes we need to remember those things and always concentrate on those things as well. So on that note, have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.